Have you ever felt like you're just in a fight you didn't even sign up for? This really intense conflict that seems to come out of absolutely nowhere? We're going to explore a really powerful idea today, and it's this. What if those battles aren't random at all? What if they're actually a sign that you have a major purpose? So let's start with that feeling, because I bet for some of you, it's going to feel incredibly familiar. It's the sense that you're in a constant struggle, a fight where you can't even really point to what's causing it. And yeah, it can feel super isolating, really confusing, but trust me, you are not the only one who's ever felt this way. I mean, let's just be real for a second. Does this hit home for you? That feeling of being targeted? Where it just seems like things are always going wrong, relationships get weird and strained, or these crazy obstacles just pop up out of the blue? And it leaves you thinking, why me? Seriously, what did I do to deserve this? That question right there, that's the key to this whole thing. Look, this is way more than just having a bad week. The feeling we're talking about is, well, it's different. It's this strange mix, right? On one hand, you feel this intense opposition, almost like a spiritual battle that you just can't see. But then on the other hand, deep down, there's this little voice, this sense of purpose that just won't quit, even when you're in a ton of pain. It's like conflict is literally drawn to you, and just a moment of peace, of comfort, feels like a million miles away. If that sounds even a little bit familiar, then this next idea might completely change how you see everything. Okay, this is where we make a huge turn. What if we've been looking at this completely backwards? We're taught that when things get hard, it must mean we're on the wrong path. But let's just entertain a totally different idea for a minute. What if all this conflict isn't a punishment? What if it's actually confirmation that you are on the exact right path? Just let that sink in. We all think that if we're doing the right thing, life should be easy, comfortable. This idea just flips that completely on its head. It suggests that a truly powerful calling, what's called an anointing, is a threat to the way things are. So of course it doesn't attract comfort. It attracts conflict. The whole point isn't to have an easy life, it's to have a meaningful one. And a lot of the time, that meaning is forged right in the middle of the fight. And that brings us to this core idea, the dangerously anointed. So let's just break this down. This isn't just about being chosen for something. It's about being chosen for something so big, so powerful, that your very purpose becomes a threat. The battle you're facing, it's not really personal against you, not in the way you might think. It's a direct reaction to your calling, your potential, your destiny. That's what's actually under attack here. So if all this conflict isn't just a string of bad luck, what in the world is it? To really get this, we have to understand where this fight is even happening. And according to this worldview, the real fight, it's not happening at your job, it's not in your family. The real battlefield is spiritual. There's this verse from the book of Ephesians that is so central to this way of thinking. And the big takeaway is this. Your fight isn't really with your boss, or your neighbor, or that difficult family member. Now, sure, they might be part of the story, but this perspective says they're just channels for something much deeper. The real source of the battle is against these unseen spiritual forces, principalities and powers. It basically shifts your focus from blaming the people you can see to recognizing there's a different kind of enemy at play. Okay, so understanding all this is one thing, but what do you do about it? How does this change how you show up every day? Well, if this is all true, the answer definitely isn't to run and hide. The call to action is to step into that identity fully, to make a mental shift from feeling like a victim to knowing you're a warrior who understands exactly why they're fighting and the power they've got. And really, that's what it all comes down to. After everything we've talked about, the weird, unexplained conflict, the idea that it's actually a sign of your purpose, and the spiritual nature of it all, the big question is, are you ready to see your own battles in a new light? Are you ready to stop asking, why is this happening to me, and start understanding that it's happening because of who you are and what you were born to do? The very last step, from this point of view, is to go from just quietly understanding it to actively declaring it. It's about a bold, public affirmation of who you are. The invitation here is to just claim it for yourself. So I'll just leave you with this to think about. What would change for you, starting right now, if you decided to see every single obstacle not as a setback, but as confirmation that you are on the right path and that you carry a purpose that is absolutely worth fighting for?